welcome to another Tuesday here on the Dot Lot, where we get witchy and we get magical and we are gonna fight some vampires. It's gonna be the first thing on our agenda today. I'm very, very excited for what I think is gonna be our first, well, I guess at the end of the prologue we had a major combat, which set like a tone or a mood, I think, in some way. But yeah, I am so damn excited for this. I really, really am. So, I'm gonna go around and let you guys tell us who you're playing, and we'll do outros and you can tell us more a little bit about who you are. If you want to find out more about these characters, specifically their stats, we've got a nifty little plugin. If you scroll down the page, there's a Witch Girls tab, and it outlines all the girls, outlines the dyes that they're going to be using, as well as some bitch and character art done by Shauna here. And yeah, so that's a great way to just keep yourself in the know, and if you've got questions about what's coming up, but we'll make sure also to explain, since Witch Girls is in fact its own RPG. Okay, enough from me. This week we're going to start off with Tiffany. Tiffany, how are you?
Hello, I am Tiffany. I am here playing Percy Rosewood. She is an elementalism and cybermancy witch who is all about code, both digital and life. And we're all gonna say Dot can't kill us because it's my birthday tomorrow.
Oh, let the guilt begin. Okay, so I can't, I had a GM tell me there are worse things than death.
I mean, I know that too.
So, okay, your wish is my command. All right, moving right along to Shauna. Shauna, hey.
Hey, Shauna, Flying Cirrus on Twitter, and I'm playing Jess Hana, the protection / healing witch who also is half werewolf, and she will do whatever it takes to protect her friends in this. Hopefully, it's vampires. Oh,
I know it is very scary. It's very scary.
And if you can believe, a half werewolf can make the saddest eyes if anyone.
Sad puppy eyes. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, I won't burden Tiffany with that on her day before her birthday either. Look how devastated she looked. Okay. All right. Moving right along. We're going to hop across the page. Kika, how are you today?
I'm pretty good. I play Elizabeth DeToss, the half-immortal time and space and mentalism witch with a touch of necromancy nowadays, who is ready to do a fight.
Ready to fight? Yeah, you've been ready for this. You even have sword drawn, I feel like.
Yeah.
That was a thing, too. Yeah, sword was drawn as well.
And taunts were thrown.
Awesome. And how about Loretta? Is Loretta ready for this battle?
Oh, gosh. My name's Catherine, gluttonous_geek on Twitter. I play Loretta Maytree, the 1950s styling conjuration and divination witch. And yeah, it's gonna be interesting because there were some things that I had put together for our very first season for combat that we never actually got around to, and I'm just going, oh. So we'll see what happens with that.
I'm very excited then. And last but certainly not least, Eris, who just launched some beautiful new stuff, by the way. I just have to say, it's really beautiful.
We'll talk about that later.
Oh,
right
yeah.
now, I am Eris Savad, and I'm playing Raven Callahan. She is the alteration elementalism jinx of the group. And let's just say she's ready to be usual ray of sunshine in this dark, dark night.
Oh, how poetic.
Yeah.
As we set the tone for how dark it is outside, in the presence of the three vampires where we left all of you. Last week was, I would say, less traumatic than before, but you finally put your feet out in the world again. You found your headmaster, or headmistress, who was injured permanently with some kind of odd flesh-eating bacteria, possibly magic bacteria, that is affecting one of her arms. But she promptly tried to fill you in, and then proceeded to very quickly lead you, telling you that the campus had been booby-trapped and bugged, and she was seeking haven at the groundskeepers cabin. When you got there, you found a secret door, and it is in fact a front, a hiding spot for a much larger operation with all of the teachers from Willow Mist. They have their safe bunker, which, come to find out right at the end, is because when night falls here in the real world, the vampires that once hid themselves in the shadows, now with Aconita walking, are brave enough to creep amongst the mortal world, or the mundane world. Two of your teachers, one of them very grumpy and upset, that was Ursula, and your necromancy teacher, Ebony LaRue, decided they were going to go on a watch. And the five of you decided to go with them.
Don't go outside at night. We're gonna go outside at night.
So what do they do in the shadows?
Yeah, what do they actually do in the shadows? So
That's the episode of that's the title of the episode now. What do they do in the shadows?
Oh, I'm changing. Here, I can change it. I can make that
Oh,
happen.
no.
Yeah, oh, I can. All right. What do they do
In the shadow.
in the shadows? And you now get to know this information. That question can be answered because they walk. They walk in the darkness. And their presence seems to cover the stars and the moonlight that comes through. It's that same feeling of the crypt of Aconita as you walked in black nothingness. Everything that was in the background seems to dissipate, and you stand there. 3 vampires. 2 of them seem to be goons is the only way I know how to put it. They're definitely not in charge. As the vampire that stands in the leads carries himself a little bit taller, but he also dresses with floof. He has one of those like floofy neckerchiefs and you know, like a little piece that like holds it, and it's like velvet. He wears total velvet. He's very, very snazzy and very clean cut. Yeah. He said something. What did he say to you guys? He said something. Oh, yeah. He said, get ready to fight. So we're gonna do that. I need everybody to roll initiative, which is based, I believe, in Witch Girls on, what is that die? It's your sense die. Your senses.
Okay.
It's based on your senses. It may also have, like, on the, I'm not looking at it, but I wanted to see, reflex is also there, so, not really, I think reflex may actually be based off of your senses. I'm not staring at a character sheet at the moment, so. Full
Yes.
It's body. I think reflex is body.
Is reflex body based? Okay. Okay. Then we'll definitely go with the sense die.
Okay.
Because this will be sense motion of like, who moves first?
Okay.
Does everybody get the Raven effect?
Everybody gets the Raven effect.
Yay, Raven effect.
And I add my fighting skill to this.
Excuse me.
This is just to roll initiative, so no. Fight would be used for the actual physical battle. This is just
Okay.
the order in which we're gonna go. Hey, everybody has a D6 for theirs. That's so funny. Okay.
Oh, no.
Priorities.
Wow. Okay. All right. Here they go. These vampires. Let me make sure, because he's got higher stat than your average vampire. I wrote that down. I made
Yeah.
sure of it.
For our group, I would think we would be more sensitive.
Yes. That's
Should I roll for Vex as well?
Yes. Yes, you should.
Roll for all of our.
Okay.
Or we can just say he goes, oh, I rolled a 1 too. So we'll give since your sword was already drawn, we'll give you the benefit of the doubt and let Elizabeth go first. Okay, so it's looking like first up. All right, Shauna. Okay. You're first up. How would you like to what would you like to do?
Yeah, so first of all, Jess just is kind of like breathing in and out and just kind of like stepping up and down, and she's going to howl, and she's going to turn into her like half wolf form.
Yes. I love that. Yes. The cry goes out into an empty night, devoid of sound and life. Nothing comes here. As you reach out, and their body, let's see, okay, so yeah, you shift, no problem. And were you going to make an attack?
Yeah, first, I think she's gonna just say, I don't know how much you guys know about roller derby or witch derby.
Not really much
This is
at all.
Elizabeth, can you get one of them? Because I'm pretty sure they're gonna come and try to get these, and she'll point at the rest of them.
I can do fighting.
Okay. She is going. And what do these other vampires look like? Were they?
They're clearly they've been turned within the century. So they look out of place in the clothes he's forced them to wear. They're derpy AF. They're low grade grunt vampires. And they kind of, remember, they cackled, they like laughed together. Their teeth are kind of jagged, where his are like perfect and white. He's clearly, his blood has not been thinned through the lines as much as theirs has. He seems to probably be of ancient blood, where they're like, I don't know, they might have been turned in the last 50 years.
Yeah, she's just gonna say, I'm gonna take the left one, and then she is just going to dash at that one, at the
All
left
right.
one.
Cool. All right. Does the dash give you a benefit to the attack?
No, but I
Okay.
think she has hyper speed, but
Okay.
What
So
I'm
you
gonna
would
do-
be able to get there, no
Yeah.
problem.
yeah, so I'm just gonna basically keep one of the vampires I'm going forward. So
Okay.
I'm gonna use one of the things in the Otherkin book is allows different moves.
Uh-huh.
So what I'm gonna do
Yeah, I figured
is
that too.
I am gonna try and throw this one to the ground.
Okay, you want to like almost like grapple it to the ground.
Yeah, I'll put this in the chat as well.
Okay. Yeah, please do. Yeah, that's perfect.
So yeah, what that does
Yeah, no
is if I connect with it, it slams to the ground and it has to make an action to stand up.
Great. Okay. Throws successful use of its maneuvers, throws a target to the ground doing base damage. The target must spend an action to stand normally. Okay, so that's basically, you're just going to be treated like an attack, so go ahead and roll. This is going to be against the vampires.
And this is body plus fighting, I'm guessing?
Yes, body plus fighting. And then if you feel like you have anything extra or specific.
Plus the, plus ravens.
Plus, yep, the Raven effect. Good call.
Okay, this is a lot. Okay.
Yes, can't wait.
God. Alright, please.
I cannot wait.
So that's 12, 13. Boom.
Boom. Okay, that is significant. You barrel towards this vampire. No problem. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. You barrel towards this vampire. It. Let's see. What is his? Reflex is 13, and the difference. Okay, so he does take damage just from the impact of the ground.
Okay.
Were
How
you
is-
attempting to use your claws or anything?
Yeah, I was just. This is a vampire, so.
Why not? And you do
Why not?
hear, like, as you shift, and you howl at the moon, you did watch as the two lackeys, like, looked at each other like, nobody told us there would be werewolves. Like, that was not part of the deal. They kind
that's
of
good.
looked a bit scared.
Okay.
Yeah, they do look a bit scared.
So, claws actually add +4 to damage, whatever the damage is.
Okay, so, I would say if it is your claws, it is your, body die plus, whatever the bonus is there. I think is how the damage is done.
Is it plus the fighting? Is it body plus fighting? Is that what it is?
What is your? It would be
It's my body is D10. That's the type of dice it is.
maybe it's just actually the fighting then. I'm looking this up now because there's also a part of me that thinks it's
Yeah, because my fighting right now in this form is 8.
Okay. Then I'm gonna say it makes most sense for it to be your fighting plus whatever bonus you get with the claws would be like your damage, I guess.
Yeah. Okay.
I think how it works for body. It's so funny. I know how all the magic works, but I'm like, I don't know how you physically attack something. Okay, yeah, we'll say that for now. The other option would be like his. It would have been a 13 to hit him, basically. If we took the subtracted that from how hard you hit, it would be 9 points of damage, which is the other way I was gonna. I would say like 9 is the difference between. And he takes 9 points, and you see him like bash his head on the ground, his teeth like rear back. But you have successfully pinned him, and since he's lost his turn, he's only going to be able to kind of fight you. But you guys watch as Jess tackles this vampire off of his feet, like linebacker style, as he hits the ground and is pinned. And it passes to Percy.
Percy is freaked out. He's looking around, and the one that looks the most put together, like very much in charge, she feels is the biggest threat. So she is going to kind of do 2 things out, if not right at once, but like back to back.
Okay.
The first thing she is going to do is cast Sunburst in his direction. So I have the description in our Zoom chat for you.
Perfect.
But it creates a burst of sunlight that acts like real sunlight, and the target has to make a hard difficulty body roll or be blinded.
Oh, okay, so it's a hard difficulty. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this vampire's body... He's not young, he's just normal. He's just normal vampire. Okay. There's nothing that he can do. Okay. Body. Hard body roll does not make it.
Yay! Okay, so he is blinded, so he takes -4 to rolls that require eyesight.
Okay.
And sense die is lowered by 1 die type.
Okay, this is going to be Vamp 2, just so we know for communication purposes. The one that Jess tackled is Vamp 1. Okay, so he's going to take a -4.
Yes.
Cool.
And then after that, so Percy kind of like freaks out, throws sunlight, and then realizes that maybe that's not enough against a vampire. And since she watched a lot of TV, she then realizes, so she casts the spell Realize to create a like wooden stake. So it basically lets her take something digital and pull it into the real world.
Okay.
So she kind of takes this, she's like frantically on her phone, like scrolling, she finds a picture and she just like clicks on it a couple of times and it like materializes in her hand.
Cool.
I mean, I can cast if you want. It's a cybermancy.
And yeah, let's definitely let's see how good the manifestation is. That would be what this probably roll is. It will manifest, but the real question is it what you want?
Yeah, it does say that sometimes what you manifest doesn't necessarily work the same it would in like a game or online.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
So so that's casting. So
Okay.
4 cybermancy, 5 raven effects. That's 15.
Well, hot diggity. Yeah, it manifests.
Perfect. Yeah. So then Percy's like standing there, just like holding the stake, but she doesn't want to run away from the group yet. So she's just like ready.
I don't know why, but I picture it like a Minecraft stake.
Yeah,
Like it comes out a little
pixelated.
pixelated around the edges as you hold it up, and there's definitely a moment where everybody stares and looks, and it's like, it's a stake. Is it? And then everybody's like back to fighting. There's this like beautiful comedic moment as it manifests. Nicely done, very nicely done, Loretta.
Okay, so first Loretta is going to hop on her broom and kind of be ready to fly out of the way of any attacks.
Okay.
And next she is going to cast Call Imaginary. This spell creates an imaginary, which is basically an imaginary friend.
Okay.
For its duration, the imaginary is either under the control of the witch who created it or another person the witch is choosing. unlike other conjurations, imaginaries have full life points. So
Okay.
I imagine that she probably needs to roll this before I actually describe whether or not it's
Yeah, let's see how close it actually gets for you.
okay. So, where?
I bought new page stickies, guys, so I can mark my stuff. It makes me very happy. I kind of already messed it up, but look at all the colors.
So
I know. It's time to mark Vlad Dracula. Oh, a 13. All right. We'll say you tell me what you want to manifest, and then I'll tell you how much of it actually happens.
well, she conjures up an imaginary that she had done back when she was in the whole 1950s Dreamland world, as a friend to her friend's servant Thing.
Ah.
So what you see is a disembodied black and white hand. That's feminine, lovely gray painted fingernails, and a lovely little silver ring on one of its fingers.
Yes.
Meet Henrietta.
It's like it's yeah.
What?
Again, I think everybody in the fight stops to acknowledge the hand that has manifested. I would say, since it's a hand and not some like complicated like tentacle sparkle creature or something, a 13 is plenty for you to be able to manifest a very beautifully manicured hand as your imaginary friend, which is also the saddest thing I've ever heard.
It could be worse.
It could be. It could be. At least it wasn't a rock. So, bloop. This hand, does it walk on the ground, or does it have a means of like floating?
It does whatever it wants, but most of the time it just happens to crawl like Thing on the ground.
Okay, that was what I was thinking. Okay,
Spider crawl.
I
what
was
would
just
you
imagining it trying to do cartwheels.
like? Yeah, what would you like this thing to? It's your turn. You've manifested it. I will give you. Well, you took movement action to get in the air, but we'll say the hand gets a turn on your turn.
Okay.
So go
So
ahead with the, yeah. What would you?
Henrietta is going to spider crawl over to let's see which vampire hasn't really. Well, let's go say one of the goons, and it's going to wrap her hand around its ankle and try to throw it across the like into a tree.
Okay. Whew. That's a
Body roll.
that is definitely a body roll because you're gonna have to like grapple, and I think it's gonna be probably alternating, like against one another, the body against body,
Okay.
or body against hand. Body die. Okay.
Okay.
This he can't use fight because it's not fight. Okay. Here
So
we
just
go.
body.
Yeah. Yep. He rolls the 8. He rolled an 8. Let's.
Oh,
Oh, so close. Okay.
sad.
Your hand, Henrietta latches on to his ankle, and he kind of rips it free of Henrietta's grasp. She's like there. How large is this hand? Is it like a normal sized hand?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's there and on the ground, but you kind of like tossed him off balance because he's had to like shake it. Which vampire were you going after? Was that the?
Probably the goon that hasn't been.
That's what I
attacked
thought.
yet.
Yeah, the other goon. Okay, perfect. Then I had it right. Yeah, and he's like, huh. So he's kind of off balance in this moment. Raven.
Well, this is perfect because Raven takes her ivory wand and I flick my wrist, and as he's posed so funnily, I'm going to cast Objectify Person and make him a statue made of wood. He's a wooden statue.
He's a wooden.
Then we can burn him later if we feel like we need to.
Okay, you have to get. This is amazing. Okay,
Loretta takes a Sharpie and writes another name.
yeah.
on the
All right, let's get the roll. So you're casting. Thank you so much for those bits. Yeah, go ahead and roll
I
away.
had another idea, but
This is
that
pretty
was-
good.
That's super good.
Yeah, he looks really derpy, almost falling over. So if you statue him in full derp,
It's the most Raven thing I think I've ever heard, and I am here for it.
yeah, me too. This is so good.
Well,
Yep.
I almost took a hint from Percy and turned him into a stake so that we could pick him up and stab his friend with him, but then he was in a funny position, so I said, statue!
So good. Oh
Um,
man, oh man, oh man.
Anyways.
Have I mentioned recently how much I love Raven?
Yeah, so what is it? Magic die, casting, and then whatever type of, if you have bonuses for the type of magic.
I'm just making sure I'm not forgetting anything. So that's essentially 8 because I'm a jinx. 13? That's like the most I've ever rolled.
13 does it.
Yes!
It does it. And he's like, "Whoa!" His teeth like show, he's like, weird face, and he, from the bottom up, from his ankle up, and he like freezes in wooden form. He looks like a hand-carved wooden statue. Handrietta is shocked. She gasped. At such a thing.
Do I have time to do anything else?
That was a pretty big one. You can take some
Okay.
kind of movement action if you wanted to. You wouldn't be able to cast anything else unless you had a way to quick cast.
Okay. Nope.
Okay.
I'm just really proud of that moment.
That's pretty great. Everybody remember to be taking out your zap points as you're casting things. It is Vex's turn.
Prince Vex is going to use Grow, so he becomes real big.
Awesome. Does that do anything for Vex's stats?
I believe his body and damage go up.
I
Let me
think that's,
double
yeah, that seems
check.
right.
Grow pets with this power can grow to a large size. Their body die type increases 2 types, resulting in increased life points and reflexes.
Okay, so that, wow. So what is Vex's body die now?
Let's see. His body is now.
2 die sizes up.
Yeah, it's D6 plus 1.
D6 plus 1. Okay, very cool. So D6 plus 1. That, like I said, it also takes his reflexes, I believe, up to a 10 or 11, and the damage would go up to the same dice, D6.
Yeah.
D6 damage. Okay, fantastic. I talked it out of my brain. Let's do it. Go, Vex, go. Whoop, whoop. Let's see how the magic does. Make sure it lands. Well, I guess you're not casting against him, are you? Because Vex would be totally fine with you upsizing him.
He's casting it on himself.
That's even cooler. Then it doesn't matter. It happens. Whoop, 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 whoop.
And then I think that makes it Elizabeth's turn now.
He could take any kind of movement. So if he wanted to, I guess he would already be in flight, wouldn't he?
He's actually going to land between Elizabeth and the vampires.
Nice. Okay, yeah. So he could take the movement. He could like go big. Even in flight, like he goes to take flight, and his wings push the dusty gravel. With just how large they are, and a giant Vex takes to the sky
That is terrifying.
and lands.
Yeah.
That's so beautiful.
And then I think it's Elizabeth's
Yet
turn,
it
right?
is Elizabeth's turn. Promptly after.
Elizabeth first casts Time Stop.
Okay.
The second Vex lands between her and the vampires, she casts Time Stop.
Okay. Okay.
So she would get +5 on another action.
Yes, you have to make sure that you get them in it, though. You have to get everybody in it, inside of Time Stop, and that would be against, like, your friends would allow you to do it, but you have to roll against their resist magic to be captured in it, I believe.
Enemies resist magic, okay.
Yeah, everything resists magic. Especially magical creatures. Mundanes don't, but adult vampires have a resist magic, as well as a blood.
Okay. Plus casting.
I can't wait to see what this number's going to be, because I have a feeling it's going to be far beyond their
Plus
resist magic.
wand. Hopefully. I think I did the numbers right. 22?
Whew. Whew. Yeah, everything, including, I can't imagine any of you have a resist magic of 22. Great. All of you freeze. Vex freezes. One of his little...
She's not actually freezing Vex.
Oh, you're not freezing Vex. Okay, so then you and Vex are not. Everybody else is.
Yeah, what she's going to do next is she's going to run up Vex's back onto his beak, and then he is going to launch her with his beak, and she like jumps at the same time to launch herself straight at the in-charge vampire with sword drawn and spin in the air to try to get him right in the neck with her sword.
Okay, cool. Let's do this. You and Vex are gonna have to make some kind of, like, if you have an acrobatics as, like, a skill, I'm not sure, there is an athletics, I would take athletics. One of the two of you is gonna have to roll to not botch this.
Elizabeth can roll.
I had a feeling you could.
She has those boots, and Vex also gives her a bonus from being there.
Yep, and Raven's there too, so you still have the
yes.
Raven effect.
Raven. And does the time stop affect? No, because we're not.
It just
okay.
he just can't act against you. Like, he's frozen. He has to just take the hit for what it is against his
Okay, that is just to do the action 8 to just do the maneuver.
Perfect.
But
Yeah,
that's not
yeah.
the attack.
Perfect, yeah. Up and over. Thank you out there for that follow. We love our followers.
The attack itself will be I believe an 18 to hit.
An 18. His reflex is 15. It hits. Roll damage.
Okay, so that's body plus my sword.
Mm-hmm.
And what does the sword give me? It's 3 base plus another 1 against a supernatural.
Yes.
Okay, and I don't add my fighting?
You added, not to the damage. That's
Okay.
just for the action roll, yeah.
Okay,
I had to think through that one. Yes. I'm figuring this out slowly but surely. My brain's like, oh yeah, you remember this. This is coming back to you.
9.
Okay.
9
The
damage.
sword definitely plunges in. I would say, how long does the time stop last?
I think it's just until she
Like
lands
take
on the
another
other side of
action.
him.
okay, yeah. You are you diving it into him, or are you making like a cut?
It's a cut.
It's a cut. Okay. So based on the life points that he has, it's not enough to kill the vampire. But you guys see as Elizabeth basically turns him into a Pez dispenser. His neck creaks to one side. You've sliced through many an inch.
Well, you see everything like
Ugh.
blur for a
Oh, I
second.
guess that's
There's
true.
a big
Yeah.
cut in his neck. I think like the launching even like made Elizabeth's hat fly off and land on Vex's head.
Yeah, Vex has the hat, and time rushes forward, catching up, I guess you could say, as all of you like whew, out of it, and his head kind of tips to the side, and Elizabeth is in this, I'm sure, very cool pose.
3-point
Sword in
pose.
hand. Yeah, 3-point
Legs out,
pose.
one
yeah.
hand on the
Yeah.
ground, sword out
Sword
behind her.
drawn, and it seems that she has sliced and done quite a bit of damage to Vlad. Very nicely done. That's very cool. Let me make sure I want to make sure I get his life points right. And then the other vamp we did 9 points to, if I remember correctly. Yeah.
And as the time comes back, Elizabeth says, I thought I was going to come up with something cool to say, but nothing came to mind, so.
Maybe next time. I love it so much. All right, cool.
Nobody heard it anyways.
Yeah, right. Whew. And you just did. I want to make sure I can. Yeah, you guys are just churning and burning through this. Okay. One of them hasn't taken any damage, but he's technically a statue. On we merrily stroll. The other vampire that is being held down by Jess is going to attempt to. Oh wait, he loses his turn, doesn't he? Vlad's gonna act. You watch as Vlad catches the side of his head and tips it back. As the skin begins to partially heal, it definitely is not solid. He bleeds, attempting to keep the blood in his body, knowing that that is his life force as it drains down his neck. But it matches his glorious crimson velvet coat that he wears, and you see none of it. As he licks his own hand clean and is... I guess he's gonna attack Elizabeth, because you just sliced his neck open, and he's really surprised by that. So,
Yes, turn your back to Vex.
Dracula can...
Like the dinosaur. That's be hard.
Huh.
Such a big bird.
So you're saying it's a Tyrannosaurus Vex?
Yeah. Oh my god.
Uh-huh. I am
love
saying that. I
Yeah,
am.
we are.
Yes.
It's funny because birds are descended from dinosaurs.
This is just an. It's a crow too, so it's super smart. So it's a super smart giant.
Oh gosh.
Nicely. Okay. I see what you're doing there. Elizabeth. Also, if anybody would like to know more about Vlad, he is considered a monster because he's an ancient vampire, so you would gain, you could make that cryptozoology roll, if anybody has it or wants to. Just a thought as you're, like, standing here in battle, you're like, oh, what do I know about this guy? Go! So Vlad, tips his head back in place, and he's going to make an attack, on... Yeah, he's gonna make the attack on Elizabeth. This time, though, he does it with his claws. And he steps up, and he's gonna, like, reach out with his disgustingly long, curly, ancient vampire claws. Which I'm sure kind of, like, ting-ting against your sword, but he's going to attempt to attack you. So he's going to make his attack roll. And I believe his fight is pretty good. Oh, okay.
But does he need to see her?
Wait, was he the one that was blinded? I thought it was the other vampire. The one.
No, Vlad is the one that's blinded.
Oh.
And so he
that's
has a
right.
-4
That's right.
to anything
To
with
the anything.
eyesight.
Okay, well then he's gonna have to. Okay, I'm gonna have to manually type this one in because this roll's getting cray. All right. This roll's getting super cray. All right, so he's gonna add his fight, but he's gonna then subtract the 4 for being blinded. As he reaches out, this is going to go against your what is it? Reflex score, Elizabeth. D12 for the win. Dang it, that definitely does not. He
No.
slices, but it only manages to ting-ting on your sword as his eyes. It's not enough. For him to be able to overcome the sensory deprivation that blinding sunlight causes. For all of you at home, I'm sorry I put the dice roller on the screen. Let me fix that for you. Ooh, you know what we need? We need battle music. I can feel it. Let's see. What is this?
Oh, we do.
Yeah, we're in a skirmish. That seems appropriate. It's a bit
As
much,
Elizabeth
but-
deflects the claws, she says, I can't help but admit I'm a little bit disappointed. I thought you'd be somewhat of a challenge.
You know, his teeth like flay out, not knowing where you are in frustration. And he probably simply says to him, child, you are picking a fight with an ancient vampire. Do not try me! You know, and he like reaches with his claws again, probably like swiping midair. And we start our entire thing back over. It's Jess's turn. Boop.
Are we having the teachers involved?
Oh, that's right!
There are 2 teachers.
I got good teachers. Okay. Well, Vlad is, unfortunately, as much as I attempted to plan, he is immune to my necromantic ways. I learned that tonight. That being said, Ebony LaRue steps forward, seeing the one that has been turned to... the one that's on the ground under Jess. Seems like a very easy thing for her, so she's going to... Oh, okay. She's gonna curse him. The real question is, what curse does she want to use?
His feet turn into banana peels.
All of them.
Um,
All curses.
Okay, yeah,
I can still turn him into a steak.
that's true.
And then Jess or Elizabeth can pick them up and stab the old guy with it.
She's gonna cast a rank 4 curse spell, because she can do that. She's a curse 6. And she casts voodoo clay. And you see her step up as she wrenches something from her mouth, and from it comes this ball of clay. And she whispers these dark words under her breath as she squeezes it. And as she does so, his body begins to turn to clay. Yes, great. That's her goal. That's what she's trying to do.
That is so cool.
She's just gonna hack him up, I guess. Oh, she's got a very high magic. Okay, so roll d12 plus 2. She's on up there. She's actually stronger than Vlad. But I guess he doesn't really cast magic. That's not his thing, is it? Plus 6. Plus casting. Oh man, oh man. Oh, I wanted
boy.
it. Okay, 22. She definitely hits, and once again you watch as just the body of the vampire that you've been like holding down, it begins to like mush in. It starts to feel like a Stretch Armstrong as its body turns into this disgusting like clay, and the ground begins to absorb him. Ebony LaRue is still. She curses under her breath, maintaining the curse until his body is completely dissolved. That leaves Ursula Scratch, who is, in fact, very powerful. But I think she's going to help ward us. So this next time around, if Vlad gets anything off on all of you. Yeah, so she cast offense. So she's going to do an offensive spell, which I think is probably pretty smart. So she steps up, as teachers are wont to do, in front of each of you, like putting her arms out in the mom protective way. She is Ursula Scratch. And her hair, not missing a bobby pin or a place. She steps up and puts her arms out, and from her like centralized portion of her body, you watch as she flicks that wand. I gotta find where I'm at. I just marked it. Okay, yes, I wasn't in. She's gonna cast... so many choices. Okay. Oh, he's not living. That sucks. Oh, this one. Okay, she casts Smash. This only affects non-living targets. If the spell works, the target is destroyed in a puff of smoke. Smash can also affect parts of items. For example, instead of destroying a door, it could destroy a lock. So technically, this is a non-living target. I'm gonna say it probably doesn't turn it into like a door. It doesn't like make it disappear, but it will do major damage to this non-living item. We're gonna see how well she rolls. But she's gonna cast Smash at a rank 3 for Ursula.
Which vampire is she attacking?
The only one left, which is Vlad.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, the only one left is Vlad. She steps up and kind of from the side, I guess you could say, putting herself between him and all of you. Where is her? Oh, she's even more powerful. Dang. I don't ever get to roll. I always forget that in this game. Okay, wow. So casting 10 plus the level at which the spell. Yes, at a 26. I would say at a 26. It pounds into him. He begins to crumple to the ground as it like takes him on from the side, and as if the sun was out, his body begins to dissipate. It's definitely not gone, because his resist magic is high. It's not high enough to resist that, but he does just take a lot of damage from it. If I do the 2010, yeah, he's still barely there. It's like, you know, in game or like, the end of Infinity Wars, he just starts to kind of like blow away in the breeze, I guess you could say, because he's very low at this point. Okay. All right. We start a round over. No, I'm sorry. It's Percy's turn. Oh no, it was Jess.
Oh, it's Jess.
Jess, it's Jess. I had it right. That was our teachers. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We do start over.
So the vampire I was standing over is now like just kind of like a clay.
Yeah, he's like a clay man as he kind of begins to dissipate into the gravel that this was on.
You know what? I think whose idea that, but I think I'm going to do that. I think I am going to. I'm going to grab this statue and try and just like bop this Dracula with it. This wooden.
The Dracula with his wooden friend as a weapon.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so it is heavy. So just make like an athletics check to pick it up, because it may not be that you can swing it. You may have to like throw it, but let's just see how strong you are.
Is that body plus athletics?
Body plus athletics. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's. Wow. Okay.
I mean, it's pretty heavy. It's a wooden statue of a full-sized vampire. But let's see.
I mean, Jess is going with hyper.
And I was about to say, and you get
strong.
some kind of bonuses, right, for being.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stacking bonus with this.
Don't forget the Raven effect.
Yep. Well.
Okay. At a 17, you are able to pick it up. It's definitely not as good swinging it. You could definitely throw it and probably be way more accurate. So I'll leave it up to you.
Yeah, I think she's gonna grab it by like the torso, but like she's gonna grab the hand, the part. She's gonna aim the part that's like kind of like a claw
Okay.
at Dracula.
Dracula.
Gonna like javelin it.
Yeah. Still a stake. All right, so what is that? What would that be?
You're gonna throw it. Yeah, it's the same thing. You're gonna basically make an attack. So this time I would let you use fight. So body fight, because you're using his friend as a weapon.
Yeah. All right, it's still that. Okay, so that's fight. So it's fight. God.
So good. Okay, yeah.
Oh.
That definitely hits his reflex, so he can't dodge it at all. So you can roll damage with this inanimate object. So just roll your body die, or roll your body die. And we'll say this is it's a hard wooden item, so it's probably an additional like 5 points on top of that. Yeah, you do it. You watch as this giant statue. And I'm gonna luck roll for the statue to see, because that's if it beats your 20 whatever, it doesn't crack in half. Because it's also a wooden statue you just threw blatantly.
Oh,
no. But it passes through Vlad as he like ash into the air, like somebody kicked an ash pit, and he floats away. You see Ebony LaRue step up, and she goes, "No, he cannot die until we take his head." And he whoops off into the night. The statue, though, as it goes flying through the air, it comes clattering down on the gravel. It needs to beat a 21.
Percy's gonna set it on fire anyways, so.
I'm gonna call this, it can't really beat it, period, because it's just a statue. So it hits the ground and cracks into a couple pieces, shattering the wooden vampire. But it looks to be that beyond the like small amount of like clay puddle that's left and the broken statue, Vlad has disappeared into the night. And you know this because the sound of crickets come back. The sound of life returns, and the night stars show once again.
Can I use reverse time to force him back so we can take his head off?
You can definitely try. At what point? Okay, what point would you like him to come back to?
like as he's kind of crumbly, but still has his head and hasn't turned to dust completely yet.
So before she hits, because what basically poofed him was the statue being thrown. So before
Yeah.
Jess throws the statue.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Cast it. Let's see how well it happens, and then we'll see if we can figure out maybe what point in time we go back to. This is fun. Come back. We're not through with you yet.
Yeah, no. You said fight. We're fighting.
Come back.
Come back. We're not done.
23.
Nicely done. You guys see it? The blackness starts to fade away. The crickets, they come back. Vlad floats off into the night, and then Elizabeth's like, "No, that's not happening." And
What, are you afraid of a bunch of teenage girls? Come
That's
on.
right.
yeah, he's the combat music picks back up again as time, the clouds cover again. Ebony LaRue like walks backwards when she came forward and said no. You watch as Jess backwards from the toss. It lands in her hand. She puts it on the ground, and she backs up just before she goes to reach for it. Elizabeth, because you reverse time, I will give you a free action to potentially stop Jess.
Jess, we need to take his head off. If you throw that at him, he'll just get away.
All right. She'll still hold it, but she's not gonna throw it.
Okay. You pick it up.
Okay,
We'll
what?
say the same roll will occur. You're able to like lift it and you get it right above your head. Your arms shake a little bit as Elizabeth's like, no, don't do it. Don't do it. Percy.
Oh,
Jess is holding the statue.
I don't. Percy goes, just put the statue down. I don't know what I can help with for Vlad, but I'm gonna make sure this one doesn't come back. He's gonna wait for Jess to put the statue
She
down.
just kind of like dismissively, just kind of like,
just drops it.
Yeah. You toss it over your shoulder. It's not with as much, maybe we'll say like his foot breaks off. The one that had like lifted off the ground as he went to fall backwards like snaps, but it doesn't take quite as much damage as last time.
Okay, yep.
Okay, step back. And Percy is going to cast friendly fire, which is basically she's going to make fire
Okay, cool.
on the statue to burn it all up.
Okay. Roll for the magics. I mean, he doesn't really, it's just a statue now, so I don't know that he actually has a... Okay, 18. Nicely done. What does it look like when you, like, cast it on his, like, he's, like, laying on the side, that scared look in his face?
Yeah, Percy tells Jess to step back, and then she kind of pulls up her phone and points it at him, and you hear kind of like the clicking, like a shutter sound, and from that you see like a beam of light bounce and hit the statue and just like sort of pixely flames just erupt down him.
It's like the kid with the magnifying glass in Sun.
Yeah.
And it's like, and it beams through the wood, and a small little bit of smoke happens, and a fire erupts in kind of the central area, and it begins to very quickly eat away. You watch as it actually struggles through the wooden like alteration, and it like it actually like screams out just from here up. You see his face turn back as he rips back in, and it starts to consume the wooden body of this once was vampire. Loretta,
I'm gonna make sure can't come after.
you are in the air watching.
Okay, so even though Vlad is a little bit incapacitated, she's not going to take any chances. So she's going to cast Chain Gang, where this spell acts as a rope trick. Only instead of rope, the target is wrapped in chains and locks. And
Okay.
for 10 life points, it can be broken free from a very hard body or urchin skill roll.
What kind of magic is it?
Conjuration.
Conjuration. Okay, good. As long as it's you can't use mentalism,
Mhm.
necromancy, or alteration on Vlad specifically.
Okay.
So just so you guys know.
So 10 and... Alright, Raven effect. 12.
A 12 for Vlad. I think his is a 13. It is. It is a 13. So the chains begin to wrap up. Maybe it's because his form is already dissipating and doesn't seem like there's anything to hang on to. You're not sure why, but he pops free of the chains that begin to bind him. His face is still like dissipating off into the air. He hisses at you, Loretta, from the ground, seeing you above him. He notices.
Okay.
It is Henrietta's turn.
Oh wow.
I love it.
It's gonna sound really bad. Henrietta is going to try to climb up Vlad's back and expose his throat for the next blow.
Henrietta doing the hard work.
Yep.
Henrietta. Okay, here's what's gonna happen. It's gonna be a body against body. Or I'll say, actually, if you can just make his reflex, Henrietta can get up and basically pull it. Oh, you know what? We'll say his hair. He's got a beautiful, like, ponytail.
Okay,
So,
was fighting
yeah.
count on this particular role or not?
Yes, I would call this a fight. Sure, why not? We'll give you guys all the bonuses you need, because this is great. She pulls the ponytail of Vlad as she scutters up his back. Let's see. And then this will give a bonus to whoever tries to slice his throat. Does
Dice
not.
tonight.
Yeah, that does not. She gets up there, she latches onto the ponytail, but it's not enough Henrietta to pull it. So now she swings openly from Vlad's back as he is like dissipating like off of his ponytail.
It's very distracting though.
It is very distracting, I'll give you that. He's not sure if he should just die or what. Raven.
Well, the only thing that can end this is a sword, so it's up to you, Elizabeth, and I cast Improve on you.
Nice.
So that gives you, I'm going to...
You need to beat her magic resist to cast helpful spells on her, though.
This spell turns a person into something more. The witch chooses a single attribute, body, mind, or senses, and the target of the spell gains a +1 per her alteration. Okay, to the rolls for the attribute to a maximum of 10. So, that's great.
Why are you so difficult to work with? Why do I have to beat your magic defense to cast a friendly spell on you?
I'm a Hexbreaker.
Because she's a Hexbreaker. That's okay. You can do it. Give it a roll.
I am also a Hexbreaker. How can I do that? No, it's a Spellbreaker. Never mind.
Oh, okay. So yeah, a Hexbreaker. So roll this is alteration. Use your magic die and anything else, and your casting. Elizabeth, what is she trying to beat?
15.
15.
Oh, it's possible. It is possible.
That's a ++. Let's just...
Hey!
16!
Nice! Wonderful. In the heat of the moment, you literally look at your sister and say, "Why are you so difficult?" As you like cast this on her. There's a moment where you're not sure if it's gonna take, and sure enough it does. And Elizabeth, you feel that boost. How much does she get? Additional?
You get
The alteration.
This one is a rank 3 spell.
So, and you cast it at a 3, so you get 3 additional points to your attack roll. It is Vex's turn, Elizabeth, but I'll let you do whichever you like, Kika.
I think Vex is just gonna try to grab him with his beak to keep him still.
Okay, you gotta beat his reflex. And I'd say that's a fight. We're in a fight.
Yeah. He probably won't beat the reflex, but Vex is gonna do a try because he's a good boy.
Good boy.
8.
Click. It doesn't. You watch actually as he reaches out, and if he was in like a more solid form, he probably would. But as his beak clenches down, it actually slices his leg into 2 like parts that now begin to continue dissipation. Vlad screams out into the night. It's Elizabeth's turn.
Time stop.
All right. Cast it, and let's see who you take in with you. This is
I'm
just
hoping
Vlad.
to just do it myself.
Eventually, I think I'm gonna try to make a character. I'm gonna have somebody develop a character sheet for Witch Girls. It's like far past time. I wish I knew like.
I mean, I put together the printable one that we've all been using.
Yeah, I like one for Roll20 though, like an actual
Oh, yeah, I get
Roll20 character sheet. It's kind of reminds me.
Does 27 do it?
Hell
I would
yeah.
say so. 27. Time stops. Who do you take with you? Anybody, or is it just you?
Just me, and I'm gonna try. I'm hoping that this will keep his form still enough to be able to clean cut the
Oh,
neck
yeah.
and the shoulders.
Oh yeah, for sure. Go ahead and you still have to like roll it all, but I mean, I have a feeling you're gonna surpass him standing still. He doesn't actually have reflex. You know what I mean? Because he can't move.
Yeah. Just so it's clear, your Raven bonus this time total is what, +4?
Yeah, Raven, because the one jinx and the 3 from the alteration. Bonus. Yeah. Music cuts out just in time to leave me waiting.
I'll just look at what I rolled last time and add 3 to it.
Basically, yeah. Let's see, how do we do?
Okay. 21.
Wow! Totally. Yeah. No problem. However you would like to finish him off. What does it look like in this time-stopped moment?
She just stands above him and looks down and says, I mean, the books made this seem a lot harder than it turned out to be. And just like casual, like,
Shoo. And you slice through his head. In the moment that his head is severed from his body, time whiffs forward. You guys see that Elizabeth now stands in a new cool pose with her sword. Time has met itself and his body dissipates into the air. You hear Ebony LaRue let out a large sigh as Ursula like straightens her hair. Yeah. And you
Did
So-
we get him?
yeah.
That would work.
Yeah.
I removed the head from the body, so hopefully that worked.
Usually that does.
Okay.
Ebony, as your necromancy teacher, nods. This is the only way to
And
kill
everybody's
an ancient vampire.
Okay,
okay,
so
right? Everybody's okay.
that's one thing off my bucket list, I guess.
Do we get a badge for that?
13 too. That's very impressive.
Yeah, I think Jess is gonna revert back to her like half her usual stuff. She's gonna give she's gonna go up for to Elizabeth and it's like, hey, you did it, you survived this.
Henrietta runs up and then high fives them both.
Yep.
Yes!
It's like it's a sports high five. It's like the
Raven grabs them all in a hug.
Yeah.
I was
I
gonna
love
say
that.
Elizabeth isn't used to high fives, so she probably just like holds Jess's hand awkwardly.
Yeah.
A hug. Everyone hug.
You
Uh,
yeah, you guys have a pretty nice little like moment. There's the crackling of the burning fire that still resonates there, as a wooden statue takes of that size does take a long time to burn. And
I
so
can make it smaller.
oh, that's not what I wanted.
Oh, I mean, it'll. I've got it. It's going, and it'll just
Well-
end when it's
I
done.
think Jess is gonna flip it around so we don't have to look at the face when it burns. Just like
you kick it over, it crumbles some. His face like collapses in.
So
oh.
Greta conjures up some metal skewers, marshmallows, and graham crackers, and
I
chocolate.
don't want to make s'mores over a burning
I don't think-
body.
I shrink it so it's only about this big and it's still burning.
Well, we were here for a
Oh,
couple
that's
hours
nice.
and we dealt with a vampire threat, so I guess we are more useful than the adults, so let's go do something else.
Ursula goes, "My, you have grown bold in both your size and your mouth, Elizabeth.
I'm just
If you
stating
think
the
this
facts,
is the
I'm
worst
sorry.
thing that we have faced, then you underestimate.
Wasn't that the
But
king?
That was Dracula. That was Dracula, right?
That was Vlad Dracula.
Oh,
Yes, he is
And-
one of many old and ancient vampires.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying we're children and we dealt with this pretty handedly. So
I would say you
I
did
know you're
quite
dealing
well.
with more, but you have hundreds of years of experience on us. So I'm just like,
Did
why
we
are
not
at
pull
this
our
point?
weight?
Um,
She looks at Evelina Rue, who stands and like pounds a bunch of clay into the ground. And she says, "We are just as useful as you, I assure you. And we have been fighting the dark forces for much longer. You were very helpful, and I am impressed with your astute knowledge of both the use of sword and magic. All of you did quite well.
Well, thank you. Would you like some s'mores?
But now, 3 vampires, which were to report back on this location, will not return tonight. They will now know that we hide here at Willow Mist.
S'mores?
So were we not supposed to fight the vampires? I'm confused. We left the bunker.
Technically, we were following the
And then the
teacher,
vampire
so
showed up.
technically we were following the teacher, and so it's your guys' fault.
She says it is no one's fault. It was a happenstance. We did not see them coming. We could not have planned for this.
But didn't you say that you wanted to get some fighting done tonight? I'm so confused. S'mores?
You guys are sending us a lot of mixed messages, and I'm not comfortable with it. I kind of want to leave.
She says you are free to do as you choose. No one is holding you here, Elizabeth. But my question is, where do you go?
I need clothes, so the mall.
The mall is currently a war zone.
I was thinking Immortal.
Oh, well, have fun.
Mundane Mall.
Everything here closes before sundown.
Yeah, I noticed. It's a
Isn't the
good
mall
plan.
always a war zone? Oh,
Loretta, you're not wrong.
well, thank you. S'mores?
Yes, Percy takes one. She doesn't melt it. She just starts eating.
And you guys stand there eating in the darkness. It does seem a bit quieter. Ebony LaRue, she simply says, I should report. They will be concerned. We have been gone without contact for a while. And Ursula, nods and agrees. And, Ebony begins to walk back towards the bunker, leaving you guys standing with Ursula Scratch, who does not partake in such messy snacks, but she does, stand there as those of you that want to eat a s'mores off of a burning vampire's body,
Some marshmallows and some chocolate.
you are
chip.
welcome to do so. But she definitely stays with you, partially, I think, within her mind for protection's sake, and partially because she's not interested in going back to that bunker with all those teachers.
So
And Rihanna's holding herself up for a high five.
Hey, high five, everyone. High five. Yes.
Heads all around.
Yes, she gives
Just the
very enthusiastic, very strong high fives, though.
Henrietta waits right outside the teacher's face.
This is very much a thing that's just as useful as a good game. Like
Yeah,
Procession.
Ursula kind of gives you a high five.
Henrietta gives a thumbs up and then goes to the next one.
And she kind of watches again, shaking her head like, these youngsters, what are we ever gonna do with you? As she stands there actually looking at the stars. She seems to be lost in thought.
Okay, you guys, so I know Elizabeth wants to go to the mall and get new clothes, and I am for that plan, but there are many hours until the mall opens. So what's our immediate plan? Because I don't particularly want to just stand in the woods.
We could go to a mall in a part of the world where the mall would be open. Like Japan.
Do you have money to buy stuff in Japan?
We could go to the where
Ursula
they
like
make
looks
money, right?
looks at you and she's like, yes, exchange rates and such. If the
Yeah.
mundanes would simply do it as we do.
Miss Scratch.
Mm.
When we were in the mindscapes held by the Highbenders, in there you were actually turned into a copy of Scion and then turned to a statue and were secretly evil. You're not actually evil, are you?
Not last time I checked. But whoever's odd dream it was that concocted such a vivid story about me is possibly flattering.
Why?
Well, because nobody ever talks about Ursula Scratch. Only my sister. She seems a bit tender on the subject.
Oh, because in that dreamscape, you were rather upset about not being a headmistress of Willow Mist.
Yes, well, As history has shown, only Aurora Mist is suited to hold such a title.
Oh, well, it's not much of a title right now.
You are poignant, aren't you, Elizabeth?
Well, then she sort of like gestures awkwardly at the school buildings.
She says, actually, no witches' schools are functioning right now.
Yeah, we looked at Chiron Academy and it
What
didn't look good.
Chiron Academy was one of the initial attacks. Echinida led a large force of dark creatures, not just vampires. There is a misconception that Echinida only rules over these creatures, but there are a lot of other kin who have a distaste, most in fact, for witches.
Did anyone survive from Chiron Academy?
They did. Some did not. It was a surprise. But the sacrifice of Chiron Academy warned the rest of the witches' world that we could in fact also be attacked. So, it saved Willow Mist, as well as a few other locations, and the remaining immortals, those in training as well as the faculty, were of course drafted.
Where?
To the front lines.
Where is the front lines, though?
She looks at Percy like, aw. The front lines are... The front lines currently stand as the mall. In the witch's world.
Oh,
The
okay.
mall. Where all major decisions are made by the Witches' World Council, the magistrate. All commerce and economics. Its physical location has been changed. It is not how you remember it. And more importantly, it serves as the current battleground for the Witches' World. Yes, Elizabeth.
Would pocket dimensions connected to the mall still be intact?
Probably not. Either the connecting force that was keeping them connected would be gone, or they too have fallen. We underestimated what the Highbenders were actually doing.
So, what would you expect us to do while they're fighting in the front lines?
Every witch gets to make a decision. Does she choose the witch's world or the mundane world?
Why not
If you
both?
If you choose the witch's world, then you choose your own way of fighting, Loretta. The mundane world is kept protected by us. We have done our best to keep out the dark forces, though they continue to, and she kind of gestures to the burning body, wooden body, and the pile of clay. And she says, we do our best to keep them out, but they do roam the streets, find their way, seep into the mundane world. Part of the reason that the other kin hate us so much is because of the decision that we made. We, the witch's world, the council that rules us, chose to wipe their memories. I'm sure you remember that from history class.
Yes.
More than just that.
If that's the case, the other kin felt we did them a disservice. We ruined their lives. And some of the other kin choose to stand by Echinida. The Highbenders being one of them, believing that her darkness, her ways will rebalance and put the witch's world even more ahead in the food chain. So we are
I think
outnumbered.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Loretta, please.
No, I just.
Loretta just kind of turns the broom back and starts flying back towards the gatehouse.
Did I say something?
Well, her boyfriend was my previous roommate at Chiron Academy.
I'm sorry to hear that. There were
Uh,
survivors.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe we could maybe go to his mom's house and see if she's heard from him.
Is there any record kept of like deaths
Yes,
from before?
all mortals drafted are kept in the system.
So we could just check that for his name?
I don't know if something bad happened to him, that would be the best way for us to
Well, we
learn about it. It's just
Better to know than to not.
She says,
I'm-
if you would like to listen through the system, there is a CB radio in the basement. The World Wide Web, the Witch's World Wide Web, if you knew it, is currently down, as all of the servers are held at the mall.
Can't we just call his house and ask his mom though?
Well, if his mom's anything like our parents, then she won't know. I mean, half of our parents are part of the witch's world, but they didn't know we weren't
Hang on, let me
around,
pull. I had a.
Because of those witch hunters sent those things. Maybe they didn't send.
right?
Yeah, I don't think the witch hunters would have sent letters to
Yeah.
someone who went to Chiron Academy.
No, probably not.
Yeah, but still, like, our parents didn't even know what was happening. They didn't seem to be concerned about a war at all. So who knows if Billy's parents know?
Well, maybe we should contact Billy's parents and check, just so we know the scope of what's going on.
Yeah. Is there a secure way we can do that? Percy?
I could teleport us to his house.
I mean, you're just calling him. I have a cell phone, you guys.
It's true.
Like,
Mhm.
we're not deep Googling here.
She
Okay.
kind of wrinkles her brow, and she says, "This immortal,
Yeah.
does he live in Mundania?"
Well, he did for a while. I mean, he worked at the diner in town for a bit until the
Maybe he has
Yule
family in
Cotillion last
town.
year.
Maybe his family in town that he was staying with, and we can check with them. Maybe he's staying there.
That's true.
Maybe we could check the diner and get his phone number from there.
Out of character, is the diner a 24-hour diner or is it like certain hours?
You know what? For the sake of this, we'll say it's a 24-hour diner.
All
Plus,
right.
sun went down not that long
Yeah.
ago, so
It would
it's
be
gonna
like it right now. It's about 10, between 9 and 10 in the evening.
Perfect.
So yeah, it's
Most
not like 2 in the
diners will be
morning.
open.
Yeah, even if it was a Waffle House, they're open. So I would say yes, this is a 24-hour diner, probably one of the only 24-hour locations in this tiny town.
So we need to get Loretta and supply her with emotional comfort.
In the
And
form
also
of
go to the diner.
pancakes. And
Yes.
also
Yeah.
information.
Yes.
Okay.
And
Jess, can
I'm
you
not
go
good
find-
at comforting people, so you're up. Percy?
Well,
Okay. But Jess, can you go fly and get Loretta? Because I haven't figured out this cloak real well yet.
Okay.
You can
yeah.
ride on my skyboard with me.
Why? And I'm
I'll
good
go
at
find her.
comforting. Maybe I should go. Talk.
Let's just all
I was
go.
about to say.
Go.
Ursula watches the 5 of you make a decision that all, or the 4 of you make a decision that all of you should go, and she of course goes with you. She's not going to allow you to go alone. She kicks the ash around so that we don't have like an openly burning fire on campus. It dissipates and embers out. As the camera cuts, Loretta,
have
do
a
you go?
question.
Oh yeah.
No, she doesn't actually go
Okay.
to the gatehouse.
Okay. Tell me where you head, and then we're yeah.
Well, as far as she knows, Mr. Whiskers is still in their dorm room.
He is.
So she's going to fly back there, settle on her bed with the cat like settled up against her lap, and start reading the diaries, her
Oh, no,
mother's
that's
diaries.
unsafe.
Okay. What is your question, Eris?
The
Sorry.
figure, is it completely burned? Because Raven's not leaving it unless it's at least 95% destroyed.
Oh yeah, I would say by this point it's just like she's like stepping on it and it's like crumbling into like charcoal chunks. So it's like this vampire dead. It's dead. And it's just like burning little embery chunks at this point. And most of the clay has been mixed in with the gravel. The four of you and Ursula Scratch return to the bunker. Loretta is not there. The camera pans over as we watch Loretta. You enter an empty dormitory. The creaking and kind of empty hollow halls meet you. It is worrisome, to say the least. It eats away at a level of sanity after a while, really. And you trick yourself along the way in your own mind of like, was that a footstep? As you bustle up to the second floor, to the no, you guys aren't in the corner anymore, to the center of the hallway where the five of you dorm together. The door opens. It's a little dusty.
She kind of hops off the broom and then starts sweeping the dust out. Just give her something to do before, like I said, settling on the bed with Mr. Whiskers and starts, like, finally cracks open her mother's diary.
Mr. Whiskers greets you with as much enthusiasm as an oversized cat can. Mine usually, I call it the roly-poly, they like flop on the floor back and forth as he begins to purr. He's missed you quite a lot, but he stayed. He was on the end of your bed when you got there. Mr. Whiskers has broken into the bag of cat food, like gnawed through it. He's been feeding himself. There's a couple, I don't know, I'm guessing maybe mice that he's caught as well, left at the foot of your bed. Like, not on it, but like on the floor at the foot, because mom. And he purrs and sits in your lap all curled up as the two of you flip through your mother's journal. A lot of these entries are your average teenage girl stuff. Some of it's so-and-so was mean to me. But as you flip through, because there's actually, she brought you a series of journals, 3 of them, in fact. The first one is her early years, from what you can tell. The second seems to be the completion of her, near the completion of her education. She talks a lot more about the Hex Scouts and some of the things that they were doing. And the third book seems to be the latter portion of her life, prior to really leaving Willow Mist proper. She talks about the school, because of the war, housing Hex Scouts in whatever basement this locker was found in, so it was like a home base for them. Probably very similar to the way Elizabeth's house is acting as kind of a home base for it was for the 5 of you. And she begins to talk in more detail about the Highbenders and about the use of their powers. She also does a lot of pontificating about the upcoming decision by the council. Near the end of the book, 2 things become and really are made known to you, and then I'm going to let you ask questions if there's something specific you're looking for that I can fill in, but these are highlights that I think would have piqued Loretta's interest. One is her announcing her being sick. She finally writes about it and talks about her plan. The second is she begins to talk about a person in her life, a immortal who she's fallen in love with. His name.
Did she give a name?
Yeah, his name. He is. Let's see. I was gonna give a good name, but doesn't. She does say that he's not like anything she's ever met before, because he's not just immortal, he's an ancient immortal. In private circles, they call him Hercules. In proper world, they call him Hank.
Wow. Okay, so what was her plan?
After what?
Does she what does she detail? You said that she found out that she's sick and starts working out her plan.
Yes, her plan for, so remember, she talks about the year that they give her to plan her life and make it, and you begin to see the development of the idea of, she literally says, like, her nerves to pitch the daydream that you live in because she's pregnant, and she wants to basically offer to the witch's world her daughter when she comes of age, but that would take more time than they've allotted her. So she wants to be able to bring another witch into the world, and she believes wholeheartedly that she was going to, and she did. And she hasn't decided what to name you yet.
And what year is that entry?
That entry is way later. So there's a lot of time skips. This is not like an everyday journaling thing. This is when she's dealing with things in her life, like major things. So like really after World War II, you get the bit about all of this going down, and then like 6 or 7 months, we'll jump. Actually, no, it would have been longer than that. So
Loretta's 17.
You're right. Loretta is 17.
And she was banished right after the war.
Mm-hmm.
So Daydream may have been slowly passing time. Oh gosh.
Time passed differently. They did not expect that to happen. So your mother potentially passed, 60 years almost? But it also allowed her to, for him to visit her a couple times.
Okay.
Over the course of it. He has not been seen. She'll say this, that she, near the point of you being born, and that's where her journal entries in. Like once you're born, there's nothing left. One of the last entries that she says is that he has to leave this place, and he has not been seen since.
Loretta bookmark, like, kind of adds little scraps of fabric as bookmarks in certain parts of the journal, and tucks it back into her bag, kind of beckons for Mr. Whiskers to crawl into the bag as well.
Meow.
And then she decides to hop on the broom and then fly back to the gatehouse.
And as Mr. Whiskers hops into the bag, we hear it kind of close just enough so like he's secure. And the camera quickly pans, cutting back a few minutes. The four of you plus Ursula arrive, and Loretta's not there. Aurora Mist meets you, holding her arm. She says, "Well."
We killed a Dracula. So
Aurora looks at Ursula with big eyes.
I cut his head off.
Ursula.
Very dead.
Ursula looks to Aurora and she says, "You should be proud. Your Hex Scouts proved their worth tonight. We were attacked, surprised, by 3 vampires. And as much as we have been planning for face-to-face combat, we outdid them. But it was only 3. Vlad was one of them." And again, like, big eyes from Aurora. She says, "Through their daft work with magic and use of a sword, Elizabeth finished him off. True decapitation."
Excuse me, has anyone seen Loretta? She was supposed to come back here. Or I thought she was coming back here.
Aurora misses no. Everybody kind of looks around like nobody has come.
She's not here?
You guys, where do you
Hop
think
back
she
on
went?
my
Oh,
broom.
yeah, Jess is gonna
Go find her.
They go behind you. Don't go out at night.
She's out there.
Again.
I'm going.
Oh,
I'm essentially just going up into the air a little bit to look around and see if I see her. I'm not actually like just flying off in a direction. I'm not gonna be stupid about it.
okay.
See if I see her out there.
I would say at this point you've gotten a pretty decent handle, and you swoosh up and into the air. From this point in time, no, you don't see Loretta. Loretta, did you turn the lights on in the bedroom?
No.
You guys,
Just
where
for
do you think
safety.
she went?
Can I see if I can hear anything?
Well, you could ask Molly.
Oh, we could ask Molly.
Can you hear anything? Roll a sense check. If you have like a special hearing to
Oh,
add to
yep.
that, you're welcome to.
All right.
Molly.
Hearing. Okay, 1 second.
Oh God. Wow.
Wow, that was.
Wow, that was unfortunate, but since I would say you still have sound, or still have good hearing. I mean, if you're looking to hear Loretta, you don't. It's relatively quiet across Willow Mist. Yeah, you don't seem to hear anything right
All
away.
right. Should we check by? Should we check? I can't hear anything. Should we check the room?
Jerome, there's like a billion
she
rooms.
probably went back for Mr. Whiskers.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Let's go check our
All right, let's go.
room.
Uh,
I like forget he exists half the time. He's so lazy.
he's very lazy, but that's why he didn't come. She probably went to go get him. Let's at least go make sure that she's not blown up without any witnesses.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sounds good. If not, we can just figure something out.
Oh yeah, the deathbeds.
Yeah.
Well, only some of the beds.
the
We
dead
didn't
beds.
check. We didn't
Well,
check our room though.
They're
No,
all deathbeds until proven otherwise.
Dead
Yeah.
beds.
Raven's gonna speed off.
Mercy is going to put her data goggles back on so she can check for traps.
Great. Loretta, how do you exit the building? I know on broom, but like, what is your exit door or window?
Well, she didn't really seem to have any trouble with the way she came, so probably the way back.
Okay. Did you
Okay.
fly in the first time too?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Just in case there was anything dangerous on the floor.
Great. There are no lights. It's the middle of the night. Percy, you slip your goggles on. You like tune them to begin to see through the right layer to see some of the traps, the bombs, the stuff. Yes. Kika?
It's not the middle of the night. It's like 10.
I
He
guess that's
says
true.
so.
Yeah,
still
but
dark.
it's still dark, and you're inside. You don't even have moonlight.
I know. I just want to make sure that there's continuity in the time.
I guess that's true. Right now it's about 10:30-ish, give or take, by the time you guys like fly back. Loretta, you had a lot of reading to do in a short time, so you did a lot of skimming. Like find a date, read a thing, flip. It's going to take you a lot more time to read through it in its entirety. So about 30 minutes have passed. The four of you begin rushing through the door.
I'm on my
I'm
stab board.
flying.
You're flying.
I think we've all
Fine.
established that we're scared of touching things.
Touching,
so
don't
we're probably
touch.
all flying.
Anything.
Is there an exterior window?
Yeah, I would have gone straight for going around the outside and to our exterior window.
Yeah.
If we had one, I would have gone that way.
Okay.
I'm not
Who's going the
through.
window? Who's going the door?
Window.
I think Elizabeth will fly to the dorm room the way we flew out of it.
Okay. So
Initially.
everybody took the hallways initially.
Yeah.
Okay.
If
yeah.
the others are going to the window, Percy will go with them to check the window before anyone touches it.
Okay.
And she's kind of like following behind, still a little wobbly with the cloak. But she's telling them, she's like, "You guys don't touch anything till I tell you to."
I'm not gonna touch anything. I just want to see if she's
Yeah, look.
there.
Okay. I just, windows could be traps. We haven't checked yet. Let me check first.
All right. We'll just look in. We'll just look in, but we won't touch anything.
Look in. We won't touch anything. All right. You guys up. Elizabeth. Loretta. You guys are flying in the dark inside this building. I need both of you to make a sense check. This is sight based, so if you have something for like seeing, you may bump into one another.
Oh, Elizabeth is probably using her wand like a flashlight.
Bzzz, okay.
Flashlight wand. Yeah.
Okay. It definitely adds sheds some light on the subject. We'll say.
Oh,
Yep. Okay. we'll get Elizabeth's. It'll be a little easier for Elizabeth, but poor Loretta.
Flashlight wand is an elementalism.
Nice.
Can't crap.
Nice.
The
Okay.
flashlight is built into the wand.
Yeah. So it shines out, but as you round kind of the corner headed towards the stairwell that goes up to the floor you all live on, Loretta is also there. And you guys do bump into each other. It's not like head-on collision. It's like you guys shoulder check each other, kind of, in the dark. And you see it right before it happens, Elizabeth, and able to kind of dodge and swerve. But you do meet Loretta in the hallway. The two of you meet up.
Ah, whoa.
Makes your heart jump a little.
You scared me.
I scared you.
Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry. Was I long?
We expected you to be back at the gatehouse, but you weren't. And then Halls and I think the others went around the outside to the windows. And are you okay? It's been a lot, and you've seemed not great. And I wanted to see if you're okay.
I want to go to the front lines.
Right away.
Well, if it's possible.
Probably.
Let's regroup and then we'll discuss it, okay?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry it took so long.
No, it's okay. We're just, there were vampires, and maybe it's like some other things might have been around. I don't. Things don't seem safe. It doesn't seem safe to be alone.
Well, I appreciate that.
And I'd be very sad if something bad happened to you.
Likewise. So let's find the others, okay?
Okay.
The camera pans to the three of the other three. Yeah, three. I gotta get my count right. The three of you at the window. You guys like hover, staring in your dormitory window. It's very dark. Mr. Whiskers is not there. It's very clear to see. And Loretta's bed seems... all of your stuff was left. So, like, first off, nothing's really been touched, but Loretta's bed looks like it has recently been, like, rustled. It's not made. So she may have been laying on top of it or sitting on it or something. But the room is quiet. The three of you roll me a sense check to see other things. And I'm guessing you took the 3 books with you, right, Loretta?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought so.
I have my goggles to see traps. Doesn't help me. Because I rolled a 2.
Yeah, okay. Maybe it's because you're rolling, wearing the goggles. Let's see. You got Tiffany?
I got a 3.
Great. Then you don't see it. You guys, like, peer in, your faces very close to the window. Uh-huh.
Can I hear if anything's there?
Well, that's like the sense check in total. Can you hear? Can you see? If you want to roll hear with it, you can re-roll it again to try to hear something. If you have like a specialty in hearing.
Well, I've got a +2 for hearing, so you can just add 2 to that.
Okay, perfect. So a 5. Okay, yeah. You guys. Oh, 5. You
Jess got a 12 though.
Yes.
I feel like Jess is capable of hearing and seeing things.
I think Jess has those like if you're using like any illumination, she has like those you know when you shine light in a cat's eyes sort of thing, like.
Oh yeah. Your eyes glaze over. You look in trying to see something.
Mm-hmm.
You think the way that the light pans in, like there's a lot of shadow in the room because there's not a lot of light. Something you think moves. Is it the shadow itself? You're not sure. But let's see. Hang on. I'm gonna go ahead and just make this roll. I'm gonna need everybody to make a will check
Oh god.
for me. And then I'll roll this up and we'll see if you actually manage it.
6.
Oh, this is where my bad.
I was gonna do this differently, but this is gonna be way too much fun.
Oh god.
Oh, Jess.
I know, Jess does not have a good will.
Just as, yeah, okay. Jess may be able to. You're like, I think I saw, and this like wraith figure pops up in the window, just meters from you, and its hands on the glass. This dark, shadowy figure. Its mouth drips, and it slides into the floor and disappears. It looks like it came from just at this point. The like slither that you thought you saw came from underneath Loretta's bed.
Oh my god. Ah.
Yeah, all of you are like,
Ah.
Percy goes flipping.
yeah. Everybody, you can make a flight check to see if you maintain your flight pattern.
Wait, I have brave.
Oh, you have brave. Add your brave to like the check to go against it. Oh, you should have probably. Actually, we can add that. Let's see. We would have added that to your will.
Can I take a negative to help see if I can like give Percy some assistance?
Yeah, like reach out and grab Percy.
Yeah.
Sure.
Please.
Yeah, you take a -1. Percy can take the +1.
Okay.
Percy's like, I just got the hang of this damn cloak.
Okay, Percy got a 5. Like
Okay.
middle of the road.
Oh boy.
There we go.
Okay. Okay, yeah, you grab her. And you like manage to hang on to yours, but barely. I would say, what was your brave, Eris, for Raven?
I'm looking for it. Where'd it go?
Is that a specialty? That's interesting.
It's a talent.
Oh, okay. So it may give you buffs to being scared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if that's what this was.
Yeah, it's brave. A character is either really courageous or just 2. So +2 to any roll to avoid being afraid. So that actually goes up to a 5. And a +2 to resist magic against fear-inducing spells. Hey, that's good to know. You're still scared, like you did not see it coming. But it's a little less. So go ahead and still make the flight check for me to make sure you hang on to your broom. Because it was scary. Box is off tonight. Oh, I know why. Because I am not scrolled down. Oh, hi, kitty. Say hi, everybody at home.
Hi, Grace.
Hey.
Nicely done. All right, that's all you needed. 9 was all you needed. You hang on. Whew. And I would probably add your +2 to brave to it too. Like, you know. Okay. You daftly hang on, but all of you actually like pull back from the window as the wraith like slides down. Its teeth were dripping this ectoplasmic black goo. It did seem to have the shape of possibly a human at one point, but this is definitely a ghostly essence of what it once was, and a terrifying version at that. And it's been snooping around.
Oh no.
Oh.
Yeah. Where do you guys head?
What?
You guys, I
What's
think
that?
we need to make sure that they get out.
What was that? Why is it in the room?
Oh, well, that was a ghosty wraithy thing, and
I-
it was terrifying.
Yeah, I guess we should probably go around to the other entrance that we came out before. They might be going that way.
Yeah. Yeah. Jess is just going to trying to catch Elizabeth before she goes goes into the room. So she's going to use that quadruple thing. She's going to spin that point.
Oh.
Just as poof out there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and you guys catch Elizabeth and Loretta. Were you guys exiting the building?
Well, we were all outside, so I think,
Yes.
they were exiting.
You guys were exiting. So you guys basically have a moment of meeting up right near the entrance of the dormitory. You stand on the stoopy area. They in.
Ooh.
Oh, you're here. Where?
Hey.
God, don't tell us where you go next time. Don't go out there alone. Come on. Also, don't go in the room. Don't go.
Yeah, there was definitely a wraith in there.
Oh, I
Yes.
completely missed out.
The big ghost.
I was there for 30 minutes. I love
Oh,
Loretta.
okay.
Minutes and didn't even notice.
Yeah.
He knew that she had some stuff to deal with.
Can we
Giving
go
you-
back to the bunker just for a little bit and be in a place that isn't potentially terrifying, so we can make a plan?
I was just
No.
headed there to find you.
Why is that in her room?
I don't want to go ask it though.
A cat's head pokes out of the bag.
Oh, Mr. Whiskers,
Can I
glad you're safe.
Wait, Loretta,
can I ask Mr. Whiskers if there's anything in the room that he saw? Because I could talk to Mr. Whiskers.
Oh, Percy can cast Speak with Animals too.
Yeah.
Yeah, if
Technically, Mr. Whiskers as Loretta's familiar can speak
two.
English.
Although
Loretta.
he's actually not a familiar. He's just a
He's
regular.
just her
fat
house
cat.
cat.
Oh, okay. Then
I couldn't. Like, thing is, I didn't have enough allowance to begin when we started this whole game to actually buy a familiar. So I just said, you know what? She has a cat. It's just a regular fat house cat.
So good. I'm so glad all of us just thought he was your familiar.
Nope. Nope.
I think
Um,
Elizabeth even like says that
Yeah.
in character.
Oh, no, he's not a familiar. He's just, I've had him since he was a kitten, and
His face like hangs
Like-
over the edge of the bed.
Just my baby kitty.
Okay, so he's a normal cat
hmm
that came from your 1950s dream world.
it doesn't make much sense, I know, but that's what
Yeah.
I... Maybe someone... Oh,
Maybe your mom
my-
bought him from the
my
real
father.
world. Oh, maybe.
My father brought him.
So your father went to the dream world?
There are some things that we need to go over. And this may not be the most safe of places to really discuss it, but
So you want to go back to my house?
Oh, that's a good option
That's
too.
a good option.
we might want to tell them where we're going.
Why?
Good point. But I would like to go to the front lines at some point soon.
Oh,
Yeah,
speaking of front lines, we realized that maybe Billy had family here and we could go to the diner in the mundane world and see if he's been around and we can check on him that way too.
Yeah, that's
That
good.
was
Wait,
why we
wait.
came to find you.
Yeah, and while we're there, we could get waffles.
Yeah.
No,
Priorities.
I could certainly use a milkshake right now.
Oh
Okay.
yeah. And Percy, we can go to the computer lab over there. It's just mundane.
Yes. We might have to wait for morning and we
The
can go to
library,
the library. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, the library would open
Yeah.
at morning.
Okay, new plan. Diner for pancakes, waffles, and whatever new information Loretta has about her parents. And we can ask about Billy, and then we'll go to the library in the morning. And then the
Okay,
mall.
I've never been to the diner, so I will need you guys to guide me there. I can't
just follow us.
teleport us, I don't
Yeah.
think.
Just
Yeah,
follow
no,
us.
Oh,
Keep
I
an eye.
can show you where it is.
Okay.
Okay. Are we speaking to Mr. Whiskers at all?
Yeah, I think Jess is saying, Mr. Whiskers, did you notice anything in the room, like ghost thing? It's probably different than speak with animals, because it's like she's speaking in the language of the animal. So it's like,
I see. Yeah. So yeah, it's kind of different. Mr. Whiskers' face, like he doesn't put a whole lot of effort into like craning his neck out. It like sits on the edge of like the zipper, as he hangs from this bag that Loretta has. Speaking of, like that. Loretta, how does Mr. Whiskers? What voice do you imagine Mr. Whiskers has?
Well,
Is he a gentleman? Is he kind of a frump cat?
Oh goodness. I would say that he is just a really sweet boy.
He's such a sweet boy. Okay.
See, yes, he
Right.
likes to
So
follow after
Vex
her
is a
meow.
Frenchman, and did we say he was French? Yeah, and he's just a good boy.
Probably has a southern accent.
Okay.
Like
Aw.
probably just a good old charming
All right.
boy, but an absolute sweetheart who loves to follow his mom and sing whenever she sings.
All right. He like licks and cleans himself. What did you ask him again, Jess?
oh,
If he saw anything in the room.
yeah.
Well, I declare, I saw quite a few things while you lot was gone.
Anything interesting? Meow, 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 meow.
And he's like meow 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 meow.
Yeah.
Well, are you interested in the wraith that was living in and under the beds, who reports to
Yeah.
those creepy fellas in the black suits, or are you interested in the mouse problem that has come about since your exit?
Oh, the creepy purple. The creepy ray thing. That was what we saw.
It was a ghost. She came here and corrupted it. This is turning into Gone with the Wind.
My cat's Red Butler,
Yeah,
guys.
basically.
Doesn't the meow.
He also likes to flirt with pretty girls, so
I saw it with my own eyes. I do declare.
And who said? You said they were dressed in black.
Oh, right. The strange fellas.
Yes.
Yes, they hunt the witches.
Ah. Oh, thank you. And she'll just say like in a cat whisper, it's like, I'll get you something from the diner. What do you want?
Well, now, I ain't never heard of such a thing as a waffle. So, maybe I'd like to try one. I've been living a solid diet of stale cat food. And
Done.
mouses that I managed to track down.
Oh.
Which is not a lot at my weight.
Oh, you've been taking good care of Loretta, so yeah, of course. We'll get you some.
Loretta is the love of my life. I would do anything for her.
And then I'll just like, oh, thank you, and then I'll just kind of do the head scritch. It's like,
Yeah. Oh,
no,
oh, that is the spot. Thank you.
oh, Loretta, he's so nice. He's so nice.
I'm channeling my best Adam Jones.
Yeah,
yeah,
you are.
Oh my god.
And Mr. Whiskers like pulls his head in, and you feel his weight as he kind of goes limp in the bag, probably sleeping. And you guys have a relatively normal walk, surprisingly enough, all the way into town to the diner. It is brightly lit and the only thing on the street. Loretta, you recognize the kind of overweight man who manages the place. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he stands there wiping down the countertops, I guess you could say. And as he sees you come through the door, we're gonna call him Randall, because I don't remember his NPC name. Randall owns this place. He like pulls his apron up above like his belly line like a little higher, and he goes, "My, Loretta Maitre, what brings you to my doors?"
Well, it's been a very long semester, and thought that we'd come by for some late night snack and milkshakes and whatnot.
He goes,
still
"Well, you have come to the right place.
Do you still have mint chocolate on the menu?
For you, I have anything." And he turns around and bustles to the back. And that's where we're gonna have to end today's episode. We will pick up at the diner next week. We'll pick up at the diner next week. Well done, ladies. You guys surprised me with some of your stuff. Oh, thank you for the bits, Lord. Let me add those to our bar. Our drama bar has just gone up.
Oh gosh.
Just in time. Thank you, thank you. He was just saying that he has turned his daughter onto the show. So we have a little fan who's been listening through, so that just makes my heart swell. All right, let's go around. You guys tell us who you are, and I guess where we can find you online doing other amazing cool things. We'll go backwards this time, so we're going to start with Eris.
Hello. I have been Raven Callahan, your elemental alteration witch Jinx today, and but I am really Eris Savah. I am a hula hooping seamstress who plays a lot of RPGs. Today I actually just hit the publish button on some website updates. So there's a whole new look to my website. We've got new pictures, we've got new items, there's a bunch of stuff. And Little Red Dot has a coupon code for 10% off.
I just dropped it.
Yeah, that's in chat now. Yep.
It's there.
And yeah, so there's a lot of stuff there, so check that out.
Very, very cool. Catherine.
Yep, my name's Catherine Barsonistas. I play Loretta Maitre, the 1950s styled conjuration divination witch, and I run the gluttonousgeek.com, a nerdy food site, as well as a weekly cooking show, which I'm now finally starting to get back into, Munchies and Minis. This upcoming episode, the challenge word is dwarf, so I'm going to take a note from the Adventure Zone and make some beach dwarf inspired stuffed mushrooms. So let's hope I can get that all together by tomorrow 7 p.m. Eastern time on my channel.
Very nice.
Yep.
There it is.
I love that so much. Let's move right along. Kika. I love that.
Hi, I'm Kika. I played Elizabeth, and you can find me on Twitter at twitter.com/KikaVO. And you can find some of my baking exploits on patreon.com/baking, where I make fantasy-inspired baking and do a lot of baking without recipes and try to remember what I did so that I can share it with people.
I love that.
Because I do a lot of baking like a grandma, like a fussy grandma, where I'm just like, I don't need measuring cups.
I love it.
That's how I bake too.
Yeah, it's great. You end up with like fun stuff with like a sort of hybrid cake bread that sort of has the consistency of banana bread, but it's matcha flavored, which is
Wow.
a recipe that I put on the Patreon.
Nice.
That sounds delicious.
Right? Dang. Very nice. Yeah, we'll definitely go check that out. And I did. I dropped everybody's Twitter link in chat, so all you gotta do is click straight through and go follow these awesome people. That makes it Shauna's turn.
Hey, I'm Shauna, Flankers on Twitter. I have on there all the games that I play throughout the week, and then some artwork. So I should have some upcoming, including all the stuff that I did for the stream. So there you go.
Yes, very nice. And last but certainly not least, Tiffany.
Hello, I'm Tiffany. I was Percy Rosewood for the game. You can find me as a producer, player, GM for the podcast North by Northquest with Dot. As part of it, our Volume 3 side quest wraps up tomorrow. Our Volume 3 main quest wraps up next Wednesday. And also, it's really exciting. It just finally got announced. I'm really excited to tell everyone. On September 16th, so next Monday, podcast Into Avernus is releasing on Dungeon Delve. So it's the new Wizards of the Coast podcast event, and North by Northquest is episode 1. So please come check it out. It's gonna be really, really exciting.
Yeah, I played a character which I don't know if anybody watched the Learn by Play I did over on Wizards of the Coast channel, but I took my character from that campaign and way leveled him up into this game.
So I'm really excited. Please check that out. There'll be links in Dot's Discord as well as all over social.
Yep.
And then if you want to follow my shenanigans personally, I am RTS Cosplay everywhere. I do sewing, cosplay, crafty things. So check it out.
Yes, yes. And I'm Little Red Dot. Thank you all so much for stopping by the channel tonight, for sharing in this joy. If you love all of our cats, know that you help us feed our critters, whether they have wings and feathers or fur and whiskers. We feed them when you help support the channel. So thank you to everyone who gave bits and tips tonight. I'm very excited to announce in this month we're going to be doing a special Sunday Fun Day. It's going to be a giant subathon that's happening, and I want to give the right date here. The next one, which should be the 22nd. So on the 22nd, we're gonna have a giant subathon. Not only are we going to be like subbing, but we're gonna have all the brand new emotes available to subscribers. And every time we hit a subscriber goal, I'll release new emotes as we go along, because I've got 15 that I can release to all of you. So we'll see how that goes. We'll be playing 2 campaigns, and if you do love fur babies, I'm pretty sure this Sunday Funday we're playing Secret of Cats. I could be wrong about that. That could be October, but something in my gut tells me that's true.
I think it's October because I think
Is that one? Then we're playing a Breakfast Cult. We're back to Breakfast Cult. So D&D and Breakfast Cult, you guys can catch this Sunday the 22nd. So please, please, please be around for that. You'll start seeing social go up for it. I'll start announcing who's the cast for that crazy day. And I think I'm going to do a full 9 hours. So it'll be 2 games, and then I'm going to pick something crazy to play at the end, a game or something, to wind down and count down the last 3 hours of a giant subathon. But know that everything that you do, whether you follow, you subscribe, you get bits, help support this channel, help feed our fur babies, because I do pay this awesome cast. And if you want to become super involved, you can join the Patreon. I'm excited to announce that officially the Patreon is now offering after shows to all of our stuff. So we're about to go record that after show, and you guys, all the Patreon subscribers, will get it direct on Patreon within the week, so that you get kind of a behind the scenes as we talk through some of the things that are going through their minds after such a crazy campaign. I'm excited. I dropped a big bomb tonight. I actually wasn't planning on dropping till much later, so I'm interested to see where the feels are on that. So we're going to pop over to that after show. Thank you all so much for being here, and we'll be back at it next Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tomorrow night here on the Dot Lot is Scum and Villainies, the Purloin Code. They're also in some deep stuff, as man-eating plants are currently consuming their ship. No problem. It's fine. It's gonna be fine. So we'll see you all tomorrow night, and then again next week. Thank you so much. Remember, be nice, or be a toad.
Eventually.
We did it!
We're gonna get that the final season. I just
Bye, everybody.
Bye.